Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Friday, so you know we'll be talking tech and English. I'm here with my co host, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva, and Miss TJ Johnson, better known as Terry Johnson Online, everywhere on the internet, all the way from New York City. And I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we're the Biz Chicks. So sit back, relax. It's all going to be in English, and you're going to be real comfortable with the conversations today. Hey, friend. Oh, I forgot. And all of you watching on the replay, thank you so much. Friend, what's up?
Oh, good morning, everybody. We always do. We start this off with this week in tech history. I like history. I'm just saying. So
me too.
I like history. So this is what you get. So the first story that we're going to look at, man, there's so much stuff that I guess happened this week. Yeah, I'm going to start here. The world's first tweet, March 21st, 2006. Tweet co-founder Jack Dorsey sends the world's first non-automated tweet, inviting coworkers. A note to future entrepreneurs, the first of anything, it may be for posterity, so try to be interesting. Okay, thanks. That was the first tweet. Okay, I guess that went over. March 22nd, 19.
Yeah, I get it. you know, when you're doing something historical, you don't often think in terms of people will be reading this for infinity. You know what I mean?
And you really don't know that it was going to be historical. So,
or that it was going to work. Yeah.
Whatever we do, we don't know what the impact is going to have down the road. Mm-hmm. We might have an intention of what we wanted to do. But
how many times do we go on here and just say test?
Oh, sorry, Dr. Tachi. You know what? Terry.
Oh, yes, I can handle that.
Okay. I was like, hey, wow. Liz Green's in the house. Hey, Liz. Good to hear from you, my dear. Okay, March 22nd, 1960, the first patent on the laser is issued to Arthur Leonard. Okay, and whatever his last name is, and Charles Hard Towns, who assigned it to Bell Telephone Laboratories. Still, no one has figured out how to attach these lasers to the heads of sharks. Why? Okay, that's who wrote it. Don't understand why he wrote it that way. Mir falls from the sky, MIR, March 23rd, 2001. The Russian space station Mir burns up in the Earth's atmosphere. After 15 years in orbit, the debris that isn't burnt up, falls safely into the Pacific Ocean between Chile and New Zealand, in a region from which governments had routed planes and ships away. The station, which was launched in 1986, far exceeded its intended lifespan of 5 years. And they still trying to send us to Mars.
Francine gets really distracted by the whole Mars thing. Come on, Fred.
They're trying to get us to go to Mars, and they haven't fixed space stations that can last longer than 5 years.
Right.
Just saying. Okay. It's not a good track record. Okay, March 24th, 2001, Mac OS 10.
Am I frozen? Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The first public version of Mac OS 10 is released. The code name for the release was Cheetah, although Apple did not start using the code names for marketing purposes until Mac OS 10.3 Jaguar. And now we're on what, Catalina?
Yes, I'm trying to keep my hands off my face. You see me put my hand on my trying to practice new gestures because I tend to okay.
March 25th, 1996, the movie Twister becomes the first featured film put on DVD. Everybody remember Twister?
Yes.
The cow was going through the air. Hey, Dr. Tati.
Hello.
And the guy who wrote this article said, FYI, it sounded really good in surround sound. That was 1996. Mm-hmm. March 26, 1999. It doesn't seem that long ago. The first email virus to cause widespread damage and one of the fastest spreading viruses in history, Melissa, was released into the wild on an early Friday morning, and within 3 days would infect between 100,000 to 250,000 computers around the world. While the virus did not directly cause any damage, the sheer volume of email that it generated crashed many corporate Microsoft email servers. That was him putting the cough in here. Okay.
I see.
And our last story today, 20-year-old Bill Gates gives an address. March 27, 1976, Bill Gates gives the opening address at the annual World Altair Computer Convention in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Gates was still a student at Harvard, but along with Paul Allen, had helped develop the version of the basic language sold with the Altair computer. That's your week in text history. Another important thing, the reason why I like history is that we need to understand that what we do today is a building block for someone else. I was talking with a client and a student from our business class, and she was concerned that she didn't accomplish something when she actually did accomplish a great deal. And I said, you remember the cable wire that they laid under the ground, under the ocean in 18 something? Well, that cable wire is still helping us do this today. It is still the thing, that foundation that was laid is allowing us to go online. We think we're wireless. There's a cable running under the ground that's running under the ocean that is keeping all this stuff going. So what you do today is a stepping stone for somebody else tomorrow. Okay, that's tech history.
Indeed. Thank God I don't have to crank my car from the outside anymore. Okay.
Did you ever? The way you're saying anymore is like you used to have to, but now with the invention of the combustion engine, you don't have to do that anymore.
You feeling me? I put away my buggy whip. It's all good. Thank God.
Wow.
Oh, but guys, I always like to start off with interesting stuff. Hopefully we won't go down the tubes on this one.
Hold on.
I found an article here on what site is this? USA Today, saying there are places where you can still buy toilet paper. Okay. You can get Cottonelle Fresh Care flushable wipes at Walmart for $6.98. You can get Scott Rabbit dissolving toilet paper 4 rolls at Walmart for $2.97. And here's one that I thought was interesting. You can get toilet paper at Office Depot.
Yes.
And Staples. And Staples.
And Staples still has it? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So those are some of the places, because it was my understanding that people were concerned about resources. So maybe we should go outside the box for those resources. You might be able to probably find some at Home Depot, I would think.
I have a question. I have a question, and it's been on my mind ever since this whole toilet paper fiasco. Did the manufacturer stop making toilet paper or something?
I have no idea if the people are showing up for work.
Because before this, toilet paper was flowing freely in the stores. So it's been almost 2 weeks. Did they stop manufacturing?
Okay, so here's something, Terry, that I found out about the supply chain, and that is that people have reduced the flow of the supply chain. You know how under Henry Ford, it was you had everything in the warehouse, all the supplies to make the stuff. Then they went to what they call lean, what would they call it? Lean supply chain, meaning they didn't stock the stuff to make the stuff anymore because just housing it was very expensive. And so the Toyota manufacturing process sort of redesigned the whole flow of how things are put together. And so they no longer stocked the parts. They bought them as they needed them. Instead of being able to go across the street and get it out the store. Go ahead.
This ain't the thing with the toilet tissue. They still making toilet tissue.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying that
so
the
why
supply
are they
chain
not
is
stocking
not the same
shelves?
process.
Well,
they're not stocking
because we got the hoarding people are. If you put them on the shelves, it's not going to be there. They had to do things like tell people you can get 2 per family.
I saw that at the grocery store.
You get 2 per family because the people who are in fear are, and let me tell you how that whole thing started. Because when somebody said, okay, you may be out for a couple of weeks, so you might want to make sure you have a little extra water, a little extra toilet tissue. Somebody went off the deep end when they heard that.
And then just started an avalanche.
Right. And so now you hear and see the story. This is the chicken wars all over again.
Yeah.
That's all this is. Somebody said something and then the little tin can, they didn't hear it right and they just went.
Exactly.
And then you see the person that stocked up at Costco. We don't know why she was stocking up. Or if they had a daycare, or if they were doing in-home care for people, there could be a number of reasons why they needed that much. Right. And so then everybody's freaking out. The world is
right. Okay. So, but they, if they keep making the same amount, that production wise, before this happened, the flow is not coming in. The flow of being restocked. I know the stores may not be putting it all out at once because that's not right because people will come in and buy it. But it seems to me like what happened with the flow of production?
You have to remember that truck drivers are susceptible to the virus too.
Right, but everything else is coming in. Because the store that I go to, everything is, they like, we get in the truck the same way. They ordered like 2 times a week instead of 1 or whatever the order was. Right. But they're still getting other things. It's just toilet paper. Everything else is coming in.
Well, I know I did buy extra diapers for my granddaughter. I did buy. I bought, instead of buying the little smaller pack, I bought the case because they had a case on the shelf.
Like, really?
Do you have cloth diapers for her?
No, she does not.
And see, I'm with Dr. Taji. Some stuff
we could order some online, probably.
We know how to do this,
and it's not new. It's not this stuff is recent in our life, in my lifetime anyway. A lot of this stuff, this disposable stuff, is
right.
Just go back to old school stuff.
Even when I was little.
We did some stuff before toilet paper too, because I remember outhouses. Y'all don't. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, we did some stuff before toilet paper too, so it'll be okay, people.
No, and the thing is, I think this is another thing to bring up, like with the flushable wipes. Flushable wipes are really not flushable, so you should not really use them because they don't buy. I remember watching on Dr. Oz, and he actually went to one of the sewage facilities in New York City,
and they were talking about
it. They pile up because they don't disintegrate. So here's the thing. I was taught to use water. I don't know what other people were taught, but we were taught to use water and soap with the toilet paper. So, you don't need these artificially moistened things, moistened with God knows what.
There you go, going directly into your system.
Thank you. Directly. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. directly into your system.
Jerry's got a suggestion over here. She says get some flannel and make your own diapers. I do have flannel sitting around.
That's an excellent suggestion.
Thank you, Jerry. And then Jill wants to know, so we got to make sure that when we talk about Facebook, she wanted to know the platform changed and she needs some help because the new Facebook Live is interesting.
I told y'all it was interesting.
I'm gonna let TJ speak
because I hadn't been live in so long. I went over there.
And Jill, you might want to just use StreamYard. I'm just saying, because then we don't have to figure out.
Call us if you need help with that.
We will walk you through that, and we probably can do that today because that really is not stream. I was like, I went in there for something else, and I was like, okay, I got a StreamYard. I'm really not going to pay attention to that. So
well, there are delays everywhere on the internet. I mean, YouTube has reduced their stream quality. Facebook, everybody, because more people are on. So there's when we came in the StreamYard, they had a notice about bandwidth issues and Facebook maybe lowering the quality of your stream. I saw some people in the StreamYard group that were saying that they had issues, and we never had issues with StreamYard before. So it's because everybody is at home.
Yesterday was interesting. I couldn't get it to disconnect from YouTube.
Yeah, you know what? That's been happening with a lot of the platforms where you end and it seems like it really doesn't end. So that's not just that YouTube. I saw the same thing with Facebook. The same thing. So it's been happening.
Platforms.
I kept hitting the button. It was not responding.
So at the end,
close the browser.
It just kept like the Energizer Bunny. I'm pressing and I'm waiting. We're smiling.
And if your camera light don't go off, you better not move.
That's not the time to say these damn people. Afterward, just maintain your composure until for a few minutes. Act like how on the news.
Maintain some decorum, period.
Maintain some, because on the news sometimes the camera doesn't go off all the way, so they're like, "We'll see you at 7," and then they just pretend to, do that like for a minute.
More news going on.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't want the hot mic picking up, things.
Yeah, the hot mic.
Stupid stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And and because we're interconnected with everything, the internet connections as well have something to do with this too. Because if the ISP providers have said that they're not going to throttle down and during this time.
So Jill says,
Tati says,
I don't believe any of these people. Crisis or not, sure you won't.
Jill says, yes, I was.
I don't know what that means. It's civil.
She said, I just kept smiling and pushing, needed to save the session, so I didn't want to just exit. You might want
exactly
StreamYard because they will save the session for you. We're all, yes, thank you, Jerry. They are overloaded. I believe everything is tweaking. Okay, what is our favorite word? Pivot. You're gonna have to pivot all of the stuff. And here's the other thing. We went on a webinar with Phil Cook yesterday because we work with a lot of pastors and things. And we had a webinar on taking your church online because all of a sudden you can't go to the building, right? Yes. So everybody is jumping online, and they did a webinar on how to do it. He is a producer in Hollywood, and he's really, really good. His church is online and blah, blah, blah. He talked about how to do it correctly and getting everybody online. It's not going to, this is going to be new. What happens if Facebook goes down completely?
Exactly.
What are you going to do?
And they've had their days.
Yes.
Now, it's not like that would be unusual. They have had days when they actually went down.
Right. Mm-hmm. This is a new look. This is new for everybody. Mm-hmm. So if Facebook goes down, YouTube was doing a little teetering like this yesterday. So it wasn't responding for everybody.
Okay.
You're going to need, what is your backup plan should this go south? Because, in crisis, there's always an opportunity. What is your backup plan? Oh, no, I can't go on because, okay. Podcast, perhaps?
There's always a way to do things. I think even if it comes to the point where, okay, I can't necessarily go live now, but we can record and save this for later and upload later. We can figure out what other platforms will work, probably some lesser known ones. Have you ever used Twitch? Okay, this is the time to probably look at and see if Twitch is an option. This is the time to look and see some of these other, especially the lesser known ones, the lesser used ones. That's a time to look and see, can I use these and can I build new audiences there?
Right.
Well, I was looking at an app called Discord. Are you familiar with that?
Discord. I am on Discord.
Can you stream on that? It said you could stream on that. Is that true?
Yeah, it's primarily gamers use it. Yes. But other people can use Discord as well. I have not streamed on it, so I can't talk to the sanctity of it. Maybe somebody else has.
It's more for text messaging between members of a group, and you could set up as many Discord channels servers as you want. They do. There is streaming and stuff, but they don't really use it for that. It's more for like Dr. Toddy said, gamers when they're playing games together, they can also talk in a channel.
It's kind of like Slack.
That's what they said.
Exactly.
It is because on that online church platform where, remember when TJ has always told us that, what if Facebook and YouTube decide to take their toys and go home? Where are your people going to be?
Yeah.
So the online church platform is what we were helping other pastors set up, where you need a place for your congregation to go online. If Facebook goes south, where will you all meet online? Well, this online platform for that, you can send everybody over there. That's the other reason why you have a website, right?
Yes.
You need your own real estate. You need your own real estate because these companies pivot and peer away and step ball change more than dancers. So I think, you need to know where else can we congregate. Oh, well, I have a website. I have my own platform that has some server space. Voila. That's where you can stream. And honestly, because the whole thing is these platforms are not really there for our pleasure. Let's be real. So if tomorrow they decide we're tired of this nonsense and they fold, what will we do? Have crying parties and things like we usually do because we're so distraught. But then it's like, all right, well, it's time to pick up and decide where. But you don't have to go through those changes if you have someplace specific of your own you can stream. Now, the thing is, I will say this. Distribution is always the thing that gets eyes and ears, right? So Facebook has distribution. YouTube has distribution. To get people to come to your platform is more work. We know that. But it can be done. But you have to hustle to get people to come to find you instead of finding you like on a Facebook or something.
Right.
Exactly. You're absolutely right. I was watching a couple of shows on YouTube and on some live things, and they had guests come on, and one of the guests was a financial planner analyst. So the host was like, okay, so where can we find you? She was like, well, go to Facebook and type in financial something. I was like, no, you're supposed to get a domain. They are cheap. You can get one for $3, $5, $8, and you say go to financialplannernow.com. You don't tell people to go to the platform and search, because I did what she said and I couldn't find her because there were other items in the search results with her same name. So like I can't find you.
Yes, we experienced that yesterday, friend.
Right, we did.
So you have to have a domain, buy a domain and put a landing page. You could do a one-page landing page with the whatever you want it to say, but have a .com or a .edu or a or whatever the dot you want to have. And then instead of telling people, well, go to YouTube and search for this, and because they might not find you. There may be somebody with the same name and they don't find you.
If I have to, okay, what did they say? People give you 4 seconds on your website.
Yeah, I'm
not going to do all of that searching.
But I was curious. I said, okay, I'm gonna do what she said, and I did it. I went to Facebook. I typed in whatever the name she said, and there was a whole bunch of names, the same name, and I was like, I'm done, because it takes 2 seconds to buy a domain and hook it up to a page or have something that says what you want people to see. It doesn't have to be a whole website. It could just be a page.
It just
with
needs
the information.
Your address.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, and your phone number. Can we,
what I need address? This is my house. You reached the right house because you've gone to bizchicks.net.
Right.
Right.
And I've seen that on a lot of because everybody's online now, and you see a lot of people that are fumbling their way around, and I'm not, putting them down, because, we've been doing it a lot here. We've been doing it for years, but you see the people that come on and they, the guests come on and they have something to offer the audience, but they're telling people we'll do 5 steps. No, you get a dot, whatever. And you say you say go to financialplannernow.com. You'll get all the information there. And you put the information you want them to see on that one page. It's really easy. So, but I've seen that a lot.
I think the way to explain to our audience is having a website is like your house, and it's your house address. And so people don't get your house mixed up with somebody else's house. There could be a row of condos. They all look alike, but every house has its own house number. So if you think of it that way, now you have a reason to have at least a landing page website, one-page website, so that people will know they're in your house. They're at your house when they pull up to the curb.
And these are people that run businesses, not, casual, just talk. These are people that own actual businesses that have a business website. So if you have a designer or you know how to do it, you buy the domain and you hook up one page. It doesn't have to be a whole website, just a one page with the information. Oh, did you see me on this show? Here's the information I talked about on the podcast or on the show or on the stream, whatever it is. But you don't tell people to go to, Facebook and search and this and that, because they're not going to find you, because Facebook search doesn't work like that.
Like Jerry said, I'm not a searcher, and neither are most of the other people that are. Look, I need one link to click on to get to you. Otherwise, I may not, if I'm not into you that much, I may not take time searching. Not just for me, but just in general. People are not going to search. We have to assume, and sorry to say, that the average person is too lazy or too uninterested to actually go further. That's why we believe at face value whatever is sent to us about all these cockamamie cures for COVID-19. By the way, people, stop sending me this nonsense for a cure from somewhere else. I don't want to hear this nonsense. Don't send me this type of nonsense again,
But you're right. But Tachi's right. When think of it as this way, you're in pain. You don't go and search for you already have a doctor, so to go straight to the doctor. Same thing when these people are going online and being guests on shows and providing information like financial planning in this time. People want to know what to do with their 401k, and you're giving information and saying, search for me. Well, I'm in pain. I don't want to do 10 steps. I want to go straight to the doctor. I want to go straight to the domain. So you buy it and you tell them where to go. You don't give out this convoluted list. And like Jerry said, and Taji said, who wants to search? I'm in pain. I need your information right now.
Well, think of it this way. If I'm going through the search and you all do the same thing, I'm subject to stop anywhere.
But you're not going to find what you want on Facebook.com when you search, because their search feature is horrible. It's nothing like Google. That's why Google's number one, because their search feature is like, boom, you don't even have to finish typing in Google. It will give you, an automatic match of what it thinks you want. So you don't tell people to search Facebook. That's not what it's for. It has a search feature, but it doesn't work like Google. So I'm sitting there watching the thing, and I'm screaming at the TV like, "You need to get a domain." But I've seen that a lot of times. I forgot who it was. I forgot who it was.
It's too much work, and it's like, I
don't know. It is frustrating for the end user.
Right.
But my thing is that the process of getting a domain and getting it up on one page is really, really easy. Right. So it's not anything like calculus or physics. That's not what it is. You get a domain, you buy it. And if you're already a business that has a website, you know the process. You just go get another one. You can have more than one domain. What was this rule written that a business can only have one domain? There's people that have several, and they go to different paths depending on what you want to present. And the domains are cheap. Domains are like $8, $9, $10. You can find a sale and get one for $3.
Terry, cheap. Tell our audience what a domain is.
Oh, the domain is what you type in.
I'm just saying.
In the URL. Like if you want to go to CNN, you type in CNN.com.
Did she say URL?
Yes, in the wait, we can do a demonstration. There are some people who don't know the address.
Who don't have vocabulary. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so when you open your browser and you type in the box, that's a URL address locator. You type in the box, you type in it's like going to a house. You have to know the address, right? You have to know it's 569 Sycamore. When you open your browser and you type in that little box, an address like CNN.com, you're giving the internet an address that it goes and gets a page and brings it back.
And so a domain
right. And a domain is CNN.com, Harvard.edu,
bizchicks.net.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. Your domain name, and we've been saying this for years, you need to own your name anywhere on the internet.
Yes.
BizChicks on everything, TJ Online, whatever it is, Mediascope, whatever it is, you need to own your space in the world online, because that's how people are going to find you. Get a house, people. Buy a house.
Yeah, buy a house.
Can I
get several houses?
Can I put up video?
Can I put up some of these comments?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we love comments. Jill says that because we were talking about how are you going to pivot if this stuff goes down. She says, I'm moving to group meditations over the old-fashioned phone.
Exactly.
Style. Phone lines are still stable in versus Wi-Fi. Zoom has gone off the charts, and free conference call. Both of them have skyrocketed. Hopefully somebody got some stock in them before this happened, because now people are doing conference calls, and free conference call is free, by the way. And you can still have meetings with your groups, and you can do video on free conference call too.
Yep.
A lot of people did not know that. You don't have to use Zoom. You can do video over there, and they do record it. So if you wanted to do something like what we're doing here, Jill, you can use free conference call and have your meditations over video.
Absolutely.
There's been a lot of uptick in yoga online.
Right.
A big uptick. And I found someone doing Zumba. I was like, "Ooh, okay."
Yeah.
And she was going. I was like, "Okay, I can do this."
My Zumba instructors are doing classes too.
And this is the same. Isn't that what YouTube is with the people? And
there's exercise on YouTube. There's lots of people with videos on any kind of exercise you can want to do in your house.
Yeah, so you can video yourself and straight to YouTube if you want, Jill.
Right.
But let's see.
I mean, Liz, Liz says if you're using StreamYard, it will allow you to record live, then post to whatever platform.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do that. I was having some interesting fun yesterday trying to take the encoder thing where you can put on your website, you can embed your live stream.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And so
I was playing with my green. I got a green screen. I was playing with mine this week, testing it out with StreamYard.
How did it work for you?
Pretty good.
Okay. Yeah,
I didn't have any issue.
She had oranges in the background.
Oh yeah, did you see it? Because I was like, okay, you need to boost your immune system. So I was like, you need some oranges. I just was playing around, having fun. But it's really fun. I didn't want a green screen. I was like, I don't need one, and I just I will just order it. So we got it, and then I put it up, and it's a flip. It comes in a circle, and then you flip it open, then you hang it up. So it was really easy.
Okay,
it's really easy to use.
Elizabeth Green was telling me something about green paper that you could just put up.
Yes, it's anything. It doesn't have to be a green screen. It could be green paint. Some people have painted a wall green behind them, or blue. It's called chroma key. It's called chroma key. And what happens is the camera can pick up that color and you can put anything on top of it, an image, or some people do video. But it's called chroma key because it works on green or blue. There's some other colors too, but the camera knows through StreamYard to show the image instead of the green screen because it gets projected onto it.
So, if I may, some advice, because I have never been the 100% fan of green screen, and this is why. Because so many people do it terribly.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to have enough light. If you don't have enough light, there's going to be a difference between you as the subject and whatever your background is. Number two, there has to be proportion between you and your background. Some people have a living room that they're trying to fake the funk, but they're like right in the camera. So it's like, we know that's not your house. Okay, so you have to make sure proportion-wise that's okay. So light, if you also don't have enough light, you'll see when you move, you'll see the green screen behind you because it's not lit well enough. So you need enough light and proper light. 3, do not wear green or blue if you're going to use a green or blue screen, because then if you have a green shirt and you're against a green screen, all you see is floating head. So 3 pieces of advice for green screen users.
Okay. Is it just me or is Terry talking and I can't hear her?
No, she's picking wherever she's at, her internet is
okay.
We're good, and she'll pop in.
Oh, great.
Okay. Okay.
It'll catch up. Okay.
Patricia Murray says, "Ooh, meditations with copyright-free music." And then I did yoga in my sleep, in my life back. Okay, back when. Liz says the green screen works well. You can use banner paper.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Christy, are you home? Still?
Yeah, we want to know. Where are you? I saw you.
Do not wear the same color as the screen behind you.
What you said, don't be a floating head. Don't be a talking head either. Let's see.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi, Maureen.
Anyway, life back now. Okay. So many things to know now that we're here. We were talking, I came last week, I came in late, and I had found that with MailChimp, you can now do call, text, or email.
That's interesting.
It is.
That's very interesting.
Because that's a game changer, meaning that it's going to change what some people have been. I don't need to have this program, and this program. I don't need to have a texting program now. I don't need an additional call, text. Yeah, everything is in there. So now I'm asking people for their phone number, their mobile number, and their email.
Mm-hmm.
This one's for you, Dr. Tachi. Christy is asking, why do I get a shadow when I do video at night?
Oh, a shadow. Where are your lights? So really quickly, without getting into the whole thing, you need to think about 3-point lighting. So 3-point lighting is when you have basically 3 lights. On one side of your face, you have the key light, and that is the main light that is going to illuminate your face. On the other side, you have the fill, and the fill actually fills in all the shadows. The backlight separates you from the background. So you would have a light above you out of the camera's view, but that kind of illuminates you and separates you from the background. Another thing is, if you are sitting too close to your background, you're going to get a shadow. So if you could pull yourself away from the background a little bit, that helps. That helps. So if you're too close to it, you can get shadows. So really what I would suggest is playing with your light. The more lights you have, the less shadow you're going to get. But then you have to play with brightening and lessening them and dimming them to make sure that you're not too illuminated. Lighting is a whole science, but the quick answer is make sure that you have enough light. Think about 3-point lighting and come a little bit away from your background.
Right. Now, I'm thinking the ring lights are a really nice way. I don't know. Yeah, the ring lights might work from 3 different positions, but I'd have to experiment with that.
They can, but let me tell you about ring lights. Okay, so you'll have to understand that I'm a snob about this because of cinematography. The ring lights are great, but what happens is, especially if you've got a medium shot where like is from the chest up, I'm going to see the ring light in your glasses or in your eyes. Yeah. And it's going to be like, oh, they're using a ring light, which is the mark of somebody who's not necessarily a professional. So it's okay because the ring lights really do give good light, but I'm more of a fan of the panel lights. And honestly, if you're spending ring light money, you can buy these LED panel lights.
Okay, I like that. Mm-hmm. LED panel lights.
Yes, Neewer, Neewer, make some really nice LED panel lights, and they often have sales. I actually caught a sale and I got the older version, not the stands, but just the lights, 2 for $75. So you can easily get lighting stands from Amazon for $25, a pair of 2. So for about, $150, I've got 2 professional LED lights that are dimmable, that will run on batteries, and they're Neewer. They have the one with and without the barn doors. Those are people, if you're serious about this, get professional lighting because it shows when you don't have it.
Right. I like that because then we don't have the whole Darth Vader look.
Exactly. So if you can see, okay, so my lighting right now, sorry not to turn this into a lighting course. I've got 2 lights. I don't have 3 because I'm trying not to illuminate everything in the background. So I have 2 lights that are above me. I've got my key. I've got my fill, okay? But I'm pretty even if you can see. But the key is I'm also in front of an open window. So I've got the key, the fill, and I've got my open window. So I've got some pretty even light going on there. Now, if it was too much light, I can also, because I'm using a webcam, which I don't like that much, but the webcam I'm using also allows you to adjust the brightness. So you adjust the brightness of if you're using the Logitech, like the C920 or the C922, like the 920 series, there's a program on your computer that allows you to adjust the brightness, adjust the saturation, and that type of thing. So you can play with that and then play with how much light and color is coming into your camera, which is called aperture. So
Maureen says, please put the name of the light in the chat. She wants you to share the name of the chat.
Sure.
Chrissy asked the same thing.
Okay. I will I'll look up the model number because I'm not sure of the model number, but I'll look that up and put it in the chat, okay? You can get these on Amazon very easily.
Right. And because Chrissy says I only have a ceiling light and and Brenna says great tips for lighting. I'm struggling with lighting. See, now we had a mini lighting course.
Yes. This is my thing, lighting, camera, sound. That is my thing. So
right.
Well, our thing is helping people get their programs out. Particularly right now, we're helping a lot of churches. And so, Fran, can you talk about that a little while she's typing that in? a little more?
Yeah, online is it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Online is it for everybody. You cannot leave your house, or you can, but
you shouldn't leave for long periods.
But that doesn't mean that you cannot connect with your community. You can still do that. We're doing that here through StreamYard. You can still talk to people, and like Jill is doing calls and using the technology to connect it. You can still do it. There's no way that, everything is online. Christy, yes, it's a standing light. You would have to buy the stands separately also.
Well, the one I'm about to put in has the stands included.
Oh, okay.
I know people don't like piecemeal, so
yeah,
I have these two with the stands. So I was just mentioning that without the stands, sometimes they have a flash sale.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Nice.
So what are you all? Okay, so we heard from Jill. She's doing her yoga via the phone line.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you all doing to connect the community right now?
Mm-hmm.
The people can still hear from you. We have a class that we normally would meet up in person at the Genesis School of Business. We've been doing it online. There's no reason, and then people are forgiving right now too. If it doesn't work quite perfectly, if our lighting is not quite as brilliant as we want it to be, it's okay, because they want to hear from you. So here's the thing: you can do a live. Bad audio is not forgivable. We can look away from the picture, but bad audio?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, it is hard when the audio makes you struggle. It's like,
I mean, that's easily combated with, I mean, even if you have earbuds with a microphone, that's better than any onboard mic that you could get on a phone, on your computer at all. I would rather that, which is why when we have guests or whatever, I'm like, at the very least, if you have that would be, great. The earbuds with the thing at the very least, because at least that's a concentrated microphone. But you don't have to spend very much money to get professional sounding sound.
So TJ, she has a lapel that she clips on that plugs into her computer. And so the mic is going directly into her lapel.
And the lapel mic was $20 on Amazon. I didn't get
and it plugs into your laptop.
Yeah. Well, it plugs. I use it. Computer. Can plug into your computer. It can plug into your iPad. It can do with your phone. It can go everywhere. So there are lots of lapel mics on Amazon. Like Rode has one that's like $70. I was like, listen, you just need one that sounds great. It picks up the sound from your, from being on your chest. And I got one that was like $19, like 3 years ago. It still works.
And the one that we have, Terry, that we use when we do our lives for other people offline, it clips into the phone. It is so much better than just picking up the phone by itself. The phone
goes into everything. Yeah, it goes in there.
And it clips in there, and it goes right in, and it sounds very
and this because lapel mics are great. This mic that I have too is actually a mobile mic as well. So if you want that handheld kind of news look, this will plug into your computer, but it will also plug directly into your phone if you have a 3.5 millimeter jack. Otherwise, for those that don't get the adapter, and this will do. So there are a lot of different mics you can have.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to do your study. We're making the shift. We're pivoting. What did you say? Ball and change.
And you don't have to break the bank. Yeah, you don't have to break the bank.
No, but you do need to. Okay, you now need to do a different game because everything is online. We got to step.
And Maureen,
Go ahead, Maureen. Go ahead.
I think Maureen is she asking the name of the microphone I'm talking about, or the name of the microphone that Tachi has?
Oh, Christy also asked the name of the mic. So
I guess you're gonna have to list them, ladies.
Yeah,
okay.
I'll find the one that I have.
And then I'll put in this one too.
Okay.
So you have a multitude.
Will be in there.
That's good. I might try one of those mics.
I have a Raspberry.
Yeah, I know. You got a mic at home. I'm like, oh, a standing mic.
And using your earbuds, like Terry has her AirPods in, those work. And because the AirPods have a mic already
built in.
Yeah. So yeah. Any other questions you guys got? I was audio and visual.
Evidently, that's what today was supposed to be about. But Tati, I want to ask you about this. TV everywhere. I mean, movies everywhere. What the heck is that?
Like what you said, TV everywhere. It's that same thing, that same concept of being able to, on any device, on any platform, get this content. And that was TV. The term TV everywhere was like a buzz term. I remember like 7 or 8 years ago at NatP, at NAB, all these big media conferences. So movies everywhere is that same kind of tactic. You can stream any platform, any device, anytime you like.
But it costs $9.99.
Oh wait, the actual app movies everywhere. Okay, I'm sorry, not the concept. Okay, because there's a concept called.
I'm sorry.
TV everywhere too.
Okay, you don't know. You don't know. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. So I don't know a whole lot about movies everywhere, but I do know it's this thing that came up. You probably have more information than that I do.
Well, I just saw it on, I think, Business Insider or somewhere, and they were talking about, because people are running out of content because they're home just binge watching stuff or just letting it roll while they're doing whatever they're doing. And they had 7,900 plus movies on there. And you subscribe for $9.99 a month, and it works on everything, Apple TV, all of the different things.
So it's an app where you can basically get movies like what already exists.
Yeah, it has some information about whether or not it's a good thing, a bad thing, or.
So I don't have specific information on it to know whether, and I have not used it to know. But to me, it sounds like these other streaming platforms that are out there, except their content is dedicated to movies. I'm guessing from around the world. I have to do a little more research to see that. To be honest, this is an opportunistic time for any of these things to crop up, because people say they're running out of content, but you're not running out of content. You're running out of content that you think you may be interested in.
That you
haven't tried, that you like. You haven't tried other things, because there is content out there. You will never finish watching all the content that exists in the world. You will never, okay? So there's content out there, free and otherwise. If you want to try it, if they have a free trial, it may be worth it. But honestly, on a monthly basis, to keep paying $9.99 when you're already paying for all these other streaming platforms, for me, don't see it as worth it. I'm probably not a good judge of things anyway.
I was thinking it might be redundant.
Well,
there's going to be crossover. Absolutely.
Okay. I guess. Okay. And is it them old movies from the 1980s?
Yeah, I have no idea. You know what I mean? Because how did you get to 8,000 movies? Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
They don't have nothing new. Is there? Go ahead.
So the whole thing in terms of being able to offer content is the licensing deals that you have, right? You have to have permission and the license to be able to show these on whatever platform it is. This is the interesting thing. This is why, you watch.
I'm sorry. Okay, Mark is cracking up. Go ahead.
Oh, Mark Ward is here.
Mark's in the house.
The comedian, the Netflix comedian himself is here. So this is why when you watch a streaming service, like, for example, I have Sling, right? I only have one of my local channels on Sling, which is our NBC affiliate, because it is not up to Sling to just say, oh, okay, we're just going to broadcast you. That's up to, and it's not even up to NBC, the parent company. That's up to the local affiliate. Each local affiliate decides, yes, we want to be affiliated, or no, we don't. So they don't have to be affiliated. So even though it's in your local area, you may not be able to get any of your local channels via whatever streaming service, because it also has to do with advertising, right? That also has to do with advertising and where things are shown. So this is also why when you listen sometimes to a streaming radio station in another state or another part of where you are, you'll hear general commercials or general ads rather than the ads that are there in the area. So,
and my question was going to be, is there something, or the movie like the movie Universal and all of them, have they figured out a way to get their movies in front of us? Because
you mean in terms of okay, so NBC is Universal, right? It's NBC Universal. Right. They have Peacock that is supposed to debut. It's supposed to be up now or in April, if I'm not mistaken. So because that's Universal, that content would be on there if they own the rights. So here's the thing. Just because somebody produces something does not mean they own the rights. So if they don't own the rights, like, for example, with some of the Marvel, like the Spider-Man things, that's Universal that owns it. So Disney Plus is not going to be showing everything that's Spider-Man if they don't own the rights. Because Universal owns the rights, and if they don't come to some sort of thing. So that's where it comes with licensing, and it comes with owning the rights as to what they're able to show you.
And see, this is the thing. This would be prime time. We can't go to the movie theaters, but the movie theaters could be bringing stuff to us, and they're not doing it. Do you understand what I mean?
Correct. Correct.
Well, Mark's going to offer this.
Look, Regal Theaters online. Put it online and let us come and watch. We don't have to buy your popcorn from wherever, the popcorn from hell, but you can Regal Theaters online. Let us go to the movies at home. Really?
Yep. Start a watch party and charge us, whatever.
And I think that would work, but I don't think they're doing it. I was like, we can see a movie.
Yeah, we can, but this you see how long it's taken them to come to. Okay, so about 2 years ago, they came up with the idea of having a set-top box that would sit on your television and give you access to first-run movies the same day they come out in theaters for $50 a pop. The actual box itself cost like $199 or something, but you would have to pay. So it's like, all right, if you decided to do a watch party and you had a bunch of your friends come and you charge them X amount, that might take care of it, right? But there was so much in the industry. Some people were for it, some people weren't. You see what's happened? Nothing. They can't come together to do those types of things, not to talk of in a crisis when there's already so much. Everybody's shut down production. Everybody, so they don't know. This is what I've come to realize. They don't know how to walk and chew gum. It is very difficult. And now they're under the gun. So now you've added the pressure of I have to do something. We already weren't prepared to do this because we are reactive as opposed to proactive. So now you've put me under the gun. I have to do this. And I'm dealing with people aren't getting paid because they're at-will employees. There's so much else that goes into the mix besides the fact that we want to see movies. Let's show it now. It seems very simple, but they're not prepared for this type of thing.
No. And then you got all of the who's union, who's not. We're not getting paid. Well, none of y'all getting paid because there are no movies being made.
Yeah, exactly. Distribution, the whole 9 yards. And I think they missed a real opportunity to collaborate with MoviePass. Those seats were empty, people. Come on, give it a rest.
But part of it is greed. A lot of these things, again, most films are not independent. Most films are independent films. Let's say that. Most of the films that we see in the theaters are not independent. They're backed by venture capital. They're backed by investors, and investors want to see a return on their investment. This is why when we think we're seeing the same 10 people in Hollywood in the movies, you are, because studios only want to work with people that they know and who made money before. So we're all complaining about, damn it, that's the same person that was in the last movie, but they are risk adverse. They are very risk adverse. So this is what it's not it's a simple thing to us, but for them it's not so simple because they don't like change. People don't like change, but Hollywood especially does not like change because change often does not guarantee I'm going to make my money back. And that's what they care about.
And they want bankable stars. They want bankable stars. That's why you see the same people in the top 10 over and over and over.
Absolutely.
They want bankable stars.
Then we have, that's why they got dust in their pockets right now. Because you didn't make this, they're not making the shift while everybody is sitting at home. Now Disney made the shift and put the Disney Plus up before everybody, while everybody's at home, and all of the other, Netflix was way ahead of the game.
Well, and that's the thing. This is everybody has shut down production. So even if you do have an over-the-top XYZ Plus channel, you don't have content to fill it with because you probably have not made the critical deals to license content, and nobody's working right now. You can't shoot content because all productions are shut down, and you probably don't have enough in your library to justify all, doing that. Even with Disney has a big library, but they have a big library of older stuff, not new original content. Okay, not. This is really going to change the way media companies view content and what they do. You're going to need to stockpile content because you don't know what the next thing is where people are going to need to stay home. It may not be an epidemic. It could be something else, right? So work on stockpiling your content now.
We may do a shift where there are more people working from home than there are going in.
You know what? I think you're right. I'm back and forth. I feel two ways about this. This is the future of work, number one, I believe. But number two, there are still too many people who are stuck in old-fangled ways that as soon as all this is over, they can't wait to get back to the office. Look, they're already trying to make people go back. So this, in their mind, is a temporary state of affairs. And when you have people at the top that think all of this is temporary, they're going back to their old ways. So I think that this is going to be the future of work, but those people who have been forced to do it now are not ready for this to be the present of work. So they're going to go back to their old ways till the next thing happens.
And it may not be, their old way may not be there when they try and go back.
Well, exactly. People may not be willing.
The company is like, we saved a whole lot of money with you guys not being here.
No lights, no heat, no water cooler full. No drama.
No. Go home. We have officially said everybody is working from home, and
exactly. Paper clips, paper, and toilet paper.
Because there's none to be had anyway.
Exactly.
Mark, thank you, Mark. I got a book coming out by this title, Control Alt Delete. It'll be in the fall.
Love that.
And that's what we're doing right now. What happens when your computer acts crazy? Control Alt Delete, and so you can interrupt it and reset stuff. That's
absolutely
what we're doing right now. This was a reset. Everybody's like, "What? Whoa! What do you mean? I got to go home? Work from home?" And at first it was fun. The kids are running around.
well, the deal is this too. There's going to be a lot of interesting outcomes from this. A lot of family dynamics that never took place before. Some people don't even know who these people are who go out to work every day, and now they're in the house with them for 3 months, 2 months.
And you're like,
oh yeah,
there.
I want you to know there are some counseling apps online
Oh.
I'm just saying.
At
There are some counseling apps where you can find a counselor online, because this is going to be real good.
Calm your chaos. Jill can help you. The whole family sit in front of
this. Let's just do a session. Woosah.
I had a client today, and he's babysitting his kids while
And mothers will never be more appreciated. Mothers and teachers will never be more appreciated than when we finish with this foolishness. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I know there's something on YouTube for kids, like educational things like school for kids. So I would say, and I know you guys talked about this last week, the kids should still be on their same school schedule and doing whatever, whether it's YouTube or something else online, so that they are not out of position when school gets back in. You know what I mean?
School is over for the year. There's not in Sacramento. There's not going to be a graduation. I have a 6th grader and an 8th grader. Neither one of them are going to have a promotion ceremony. It's over.
Is that what they said?
Done. That's what they said. We're done. We'll see y'all in September.
I think it doesn't make any sense at this point.
Listen, I didn't say it made sense. I'm just telling you what's up.
No. I'm just saying it doesn't make any sense to go back to school. Why would you? People already should. Look, when I was, full-time professor at my institution, by April I shut down because I knew the first week of May we were done. So I would go to NAB in Vegas like that second week of April. I'm like, school is done. In my head, school was done. So I already know. There's no need to go back to school. Just keep them on this trajectory as they are and pick up in the fall. Do what you would normally do to keep their senses sharp over the summer.
Right. Okay, I'm going to go through these comments. Okay, Mark says, suddenly we'll be getting a bombardment of one-camera iPhone filmed one-person shows. I do one every day. It's simply not filmed. Okay. And we were doing that when the phone first came out. Wasn't we? Everybody doing a one-camera? Hey, I'm here in front of the Art and Fair Mall. Terry, you know how normally the Art and Fair Mall, there was nothing in the parking lot. Nothing. That I was like, whoa,
because the first couple of weeks we were like, everybody's at the mall. What's going on?
Everybody's at the mall right now. Jerry says people don't used to be with themselves, much less.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Spending time with you. Take some time and get to know yourself, people.
Ooh.
It's okay. I know it's scary.
Absolutely.
Parents, plant your kids in front of the TV and be done with it. We turned out all right.
Sure did. That was me.
And all summer long, you know what I'm saying?
Pat says the Durham public school system is distributing instruction packets along with food every day. Yes. Somebody just didn't go.
That makes sense. If you're picking up food, that makes sense.
Right. Instruction packets, because they care about whether or not the kids.
Well, also they have to be concerned about, there's a bunch of laws about what you can share, as far as using Zoom for instruction from a public school system. There's a lot of different laws that control that. And you can't, they're concerned about releasing personal information about students, like mental health stuff, physical disabilities, things that are covered by HIPAA laws and different, they got all kind of laws. So distributing a packet, I know it sounds old school, people, but it's effective and it's tactile. It keeps the kids on point.
Conjunction junction. What's your function? I'm not talking about no major. Can we learn? I'm just a bill on sitting on the hill, Schoolhouse Rock.
I think this is part of the thing too. Instructional television has really gone away for the most part. So whereas like when, back in the day, like even when I was little, you had the Schoolhouse Rock, you had all of this instructional television. PBS had, they still have instructional television, but it was like instructional television that also taught you critical thinking skills. I remember there was this one show called Trade-Offs where they would present a scenario. Of course, they were from the 70s. They had on these nights. So it was an old one that we were watching, but it would ask, what should XYZ do in order to solve this situation? So you learned critical thinking skills along with that. Right. And we really don't have that, that much anymore in terms of fostering critical thinking skills, math skills. Of course, we still have Sesame Streets and things like that. But television had a larger role in terms of cultivating education than it does now. Though we can say some of it has gone online, and you can still find some resources online and things on YouTube to help with that.
I think they should bring Schoolhouse Rock back. They should bring, and like Mark said here, the ABC After School Special.
Oh, I loved it.
Bring that back. Yes. I mean, you still have it. We don't care if they're wearing okay, the style is back already now too. Bell bottoms are back. Psychedelic is back. Just bring it back.
Neon is back.
You guys remember Morgan Freeman was in Electric Company.
That's the first way I knew him. I was like, hey, that's that guy from Electric Company.
And Rita Moreno.
Rita Moreno too, yes.
Bring back.
Can we get Sesame Street for free?
I don't know.
Yes, you can. But so this is what happens, because you can wait. It comes on, the new episodes come on PBS 9 months after they come on HBO, because remember, HBO acquired Sesame Workshop because it's expensive. It's public television, so HBO has put the resources into it, but you don't get to see the new episodes.
Back up, hold everything. What do you mean it's expensive? It's public television.
It's not anymore. HBO owns it.
Right, but what I'm saying is public television, it's quasi-governmental, so they only get a certain amount of allotment from the government, and the rest is when they do those pledge and fund drives.
Yes.
They still are not making what a for-profit media company would make. And an outfit like Sesame Street is expensive to produce. So this is how HBO came on board. So HBO basically does them, but the first run is on HBO. Second run, 9 months later, then comes to PBS. So you're seeing episodes like 9 months after they debut on HBO.
Okay. So you don't you get the bread that was canned back.
I get stale bread.
You get the ends of the bread, the ends.
Right. Brenna says that Washington Unified gives lunch and all the teaching is online from YouTube to Khan Academy, Google Classroom, Facebook School Group. Now, see, that is a good use of these online platforms from Google and Facebook. See, nobody's talking about, except Brenna brought it to us, Facebook School Group. Seriously. So you can still teach your kids online.
Oh, absolutely. There are ways. I think we're just not used to the ways. So yeah, take your minute to complain and then get on board and do what needs to be done.
Right. And so
okay, Mark, shut Mark down. Do you see this Big Bird?
Big Bird eats a lot. Okay.
But Tachi, we didn't ask you if you had anything you wanted to talk about today's special.
Oh, I do. I just have it's like one or two things, if that's okay, because I know we're over. Okay. So I think that one of the things in this whole quarantine situation that we're in is the fact that we're seeing how important live streaming is in terms of keeping community and keeping everybody upbeat, right? And one of the things, I don't know if you ladies watched it, but I talked about this on Wednesday. The DJ, D-Nice, if you know him from, he was a former member, one of the members of BDP, which is Boogie Down Productions, KRS-One's hip-hop group. So he's one of the progenitors of hip-hop. And so D-Nice, they say DJ D-Nice, he's just D-Nice. D-Nice actually did a 5-day DJ set on Instagram Live, on his Instagram Live page. Michelle Obama came through. Oprah came through. Joe Biden came through. Bernie Sanders came through. You had, I mean, anybody who was a celebrity was there. Will and Jada Pinkett Smith all came through, and everybody was there listening. In addition to us lay folk, were there listening to his sets. He played alternative. He played 80s music, old school R&B, hip hop. I mean, it's amazing. And in fact, he teamed up Wednesday night with Michelle Obama. They were doing calls to get people to vote, basically. So he teamed up with them, and he did a whole DJ set. I can't remember how many hours it was, but they were able to call 450,000 people to remind them to register to vote, and yeah, exactly. It was amazing. So this has been used for a tool for good as well. And he's had, like, each time he comes on, there was, like, Saturday, he had 100,000 people that came on into one session. So he's had over 1 million people that have watched his DJ sets on on Instagram. So it's absolutely amazing. So Janet Jackson came through. I mean, when you see, it was just Patti LaBelle was there. So you felt like you were hanging out in club. It was called Club Quarantine. So it felt like you were hanging out in Club Quarantine with celebrities, with politicians. It was really cool, and it was uplifting. I will say this. So everybody did a story about this. CNN did a story about it. CNN played the video from headline news. One thing I abhor is lazy journalism. So when they were talking about this, they talked about, he got really excited when Michelle Obama came in, and they played that. He was like, "Yo, Michelle Obama's in the building," and they played that clip. So the journalist from Headline News, the reporter, was like, and so it's all over the place that a DJ Nice, they called him DJ Nice, actually did a set. And they talked about him like he was some rando DJ, not that he was one of the progenitors of hip hop. So you get a Bama of the Week from me, Headline News, for not doing your due diligence and not doing the research to understand that he's not just a random DJ, that he's actually one of the people that helped to develop hip hop, which is one of the most listened to genres of music in the world, into what it is today. And it's because you don't listen to hip hop or whatever, maybe, that you did not know who he was. I don't care if you don't listen. Find out who he is and give him the due respect. So that's something that bothered me. But the overall thing is that it was positive that he came on and did this set.
Wow. That's major. All the people coming across there.
Right.
Absolutely major. Though I don't know if you guys feel some kind of way about this, as people like to say, I feel some type of way. I feel a little bit #side-eye, because a lot of the space is crowded now because everybody's at home. And if you've noticed, a lot of celebrities have started going live from their accounts on Instagram, on Facebook, everywhere, even on Periscope, and they're live. And then there have been a lot of people on TikTok, celebrities on TikTok. I love it. I love that you're using these. But what happens is that kind of discounts those of us, like Tech Divas, like Biz Chicks, like Mediascope, like that have been doing this for a while and putting together content, not just coming on and having conversations, actually putting together content. So I love you, celebrities, for doing this. But remember, people watching and getting all hype about this, that when Hollywood opens back up, they're going to go back to business as usual. And we will still be here giving you the content that we have scrimped and put together to bring you because we care. That's all I have to say. Am I a little bit salty? Yes, a little bit. But
girl, please. We love you. It's all right. Is the rant over?
It's over.
Okay.
It's over.
Okay, so everybody just go woo-saw. Woo-saw. Okay.
I'm good.
Jill, where are you?
A couple more comments here. Patricia says he has Roku. She's subscribed to PBS Kids, and they do include Sesame Street. There are so many channels.
I have PBS Kids. Let me go and see what's going on.
Channels. And he said, I was there. Tachi refused to talk to me suddenly.
I didn't even see him.
You know he's messing with you, girl.
I know. He told me, he was like, I was hanging out with all the Michelle Obama. I was like, oh well, that's why I didn't see you, because I was at the other end with Oprah. So
It's been interesting. Who is it? The guy who oh my gosh, I see his face from SNL, but he does the late night on CBS. Seth
Jimmy
Meyers.
Fallon?
No, Seth Meyers.
Seth Meyers, okay.
He was doing his show from his living room. I mean, from his house.
Yeah, Trevor Noah is doing the same thing with the Daily Show on Comedy Central.
Right, and when I was watching it, he was doing it like he was doing his jokes and stuff, but it just didn't. I was like, okay,
it didn't translate.
It just was so didn't feel the same. I was like, you're not funny like that.
But you see what I'm saying now? So, I'm joking when I, talk about celebrities and stuff, but this is the interesting thing about those of us who do live stream. We don't have live audiences usually. I mean, we have our audience, obviously, that is live, but we don't have them always in the same way that a Tonight Show or whatever has the audience, where they are in studio, where they are dependent upon the energy of the audience for jokes to go off well, if that makes sense, right? So we do what we do without that. And what's happened is you see how dependent some of these hosts are on an audience when they're not able to make things translate or make interviews translate, because part of it depends on the audience being there. So it's a really specialized skill that, we have developed, and those people who are doing things solo have developed, that if you're dependent on an audience, you haven't developed those skills. So this is a good time to develop them.
Right. Because the suggestion I would have for them is do what we do here, a Zoom or a StreamYard, where you have another person to talk to. Today, my guest is going to be da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and still bring them in. I'm like, y'all didn't think of that?
They didn't make the contracts because people still want to get paid.
Yeah, they have this is the thing. The hosts of the show are not the only, and you already know this, they're not the only people that make the decision. In fact, they don't often pick the guests. They have scheduling people who see who they can get, and then they're reprised. Okay, this is who we have on today. Okay, let me do my research into the new book. So the host has very little control over the whole thing.
And a lot of times they don't do the research. Someone hands them a piece of paper and says, these are the questions.
Exactly.
Okay, now see, with Seth Meyers, if Jimmy Fallon is my friend, the two of us can do.
That's what I was thinking, friend. Call up your friend and get in there together and just play off each other.
And do a whole thing of all the late night hosts, like a battle of the late night hosts.
Yeah. Now,
you're welcome.
If you all are watching and you take our idea, you better mention Biz Chicks.
Thank you.
All I gotta say.
Thank you.
Yep, battle of the comedians.
Because all of them can be 6. We got 6 spaces on StreamYard. Y'all want to, call us.
We are inviting all the kings of comedy over here. Come on over. Let's see.
We'll help you set it up, because apparently everybody's been dependent on the people who can't show up to work.
Mm-hmm.
And like Mark says, my favorite part is seeing the news anchors, etc., without their makeup artists.
Okay.
Oh dear. So that shows you how much of a specialized industry this is, from the makeup people, from the camera people and that's why really news stations have been doing this for a while. When they're looking to hire people fresh out of college, they're looking for somebody who could do it all. They want a one-person show. They want a backpack reporter who, if they have to go live from their phone, they can do that. They can write their script. They damn well know how to do their makeup without looking like Homie the Clown. That type of thing. So,
oh my gosh, you got Homie the Clown.
Sorry,
that one. Wow.
Living color reference.
If somebody can tell us where we can find old Bernie Mac episodes of the Bernie Mac show, Homie the Clown and them in living I'm serious. Comedy. It was funny.
Absolutely.
It was funny. I'm just saying, Where can I find that? You know.
Well, Brenna's got something here. She's continuing.
They're continuing, but you're right. I watched Colbert, and some of the jokes weren't as funny. Seth did Zoom, but who did he Zoom with?
Well, the thing is, too, there are no laugh tracks. There's nothing, to fill the void if people don't laugh.
But if you're playing off for one another, you know how the clowns got together. It was funny.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what needs to happen is this is the time you need to be connecting with your fans while you're on break. Do some fan calls. So have a certain number of seats on the Zoom call that you can broadcast out, and select some of your fans, have them comment on Twitter and randomly select them. And hey, we're doing fan calls. Do you want to join us? And then you all can, do a short fan call, that type of thing. Come on now.
What's wrong with having a virtual audience where you provide tickets and they're sort of like in seats, so you have a limited number of people on the Zoom call, but people can watch the call like a show?
There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong at all. It's just they just didn't think of it, or they think the logistics are too much.
Okay. And then here is the other thing. When Jimmy Fallon does the hashtag, come on, you can still do that. Send in your hashtag about that, and then still do the hashtag. You can still, there's a way of doing this. Okay, yes, Jill is right. Gary V is doing fan calls. He is doing tea with Gary V, and he's going live and pulling in. I'm like, see?
Well, Gary V comes from the age of digital. Meaning he never had this whole thing, the battle of the apps where he was a judge on Apple TV. That whole thing is new. So linear television is a new thing for him. He's always been digital. So he knows how to engage and do things in the digital space. People who are linear television only, they have to learn this type of thing.
Oh, Mark is giving us
and all of the trainers are out on leave.
Brenna says, Seth filmed with the writers. Jokes.
I'm just saying.
I guess there were jokes Seth can't tell. Well, you need to get some writers who can tell some. Okay, and he is a writer, so I don't. Anyway, Seth's closer look segments have been online. The ones from his house are not being aired on the network. We don't care about it being on the network because we can go to YouTube. He has a fan base. Play to your audience, people. He has a fan base. Okay, NBC is not giving you the play, right?
Well, maybe he has a non-disclosure agreement, or he has an agreement that doesn't allow him to do anything without permission. We own you, and I'm not mad at it. That means he's getting paid, but you never know what the restrictions are.
You are your own person too. You still got social media and people following you.
Absolutely. In fact,
disconnect. Let's see the fan base.
Yeah.
Brother says there are ladies that wrote the jokes, and apparently they were not acceptable for television. So why not they write something that is?
Exactly. I mean, they're paid to write.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry. Haven't you been writing for her? Or these brand new, I can't. We cannot take everybody to the mountaintop with us. Some people you have to leave at the base of the mountain. Those of you that want to adapt and transition, you're going to do it and find a way. But people who want to stay in the dark ages of rabbit antenna TV, that's where you're going to stay. Sorry. I can't help you.
And maybe people are just scared with all the recent stuff of what we write as lady writers. But we got a sense of humor too.
Okay, because this is funny. There are people who are funny.
Well, ladies, we are running into hour number 2. Let's see here. Pat's got some comments too here. Oh, Mark. Let's start with Mark. Above that, please.
Okay.
Yeah, I did that one.
Okay.
So I guess when they broadcast from their homes, they're not following union rules. So maybe they can't be aired by the networks. That makes sense.
And that's okay. We just want to see them.
And
just
then
don't abandon the troops. Let's see it.
Martin says the jokes that Seth can't tell is a regular segment that he does every few weeks. It's a joke. It's about jokes that a white guy can't tell. So we don't need that one. He's supposed to be funny, right? Mm-hmm. So the people I knew that were funny all the time. They were just funny. So you know we had the class clown at school, right?
Mm-hmm. You know, we had the comedian at the dinner.
Right.
At the we had a 40th anniversary for our church. We had a comedian. Well, he talked about some of the scenarios that you see in the first church. You know, we got some characters in all situations. And it's funny. Okay.
Absolutely.
And Brenda said that they were acceptable. They did it on TV before. It's a black lady and a lesbian. Okay, he's been doing that. So maybe, I don't understand, but
maybe he just needs to get a whole set of writers for the internet. And just
I wouldn't even need writers, just him and Jimmy Fallon or
playing off of each other. Yeah.
Justin Timberlake and Jimmy Fallon, when they get to it's just funny. Some stuff are not staged. It's just
look, they could do a whole show just pretending like they know how to ride a skateboard. People would be laughing. You know what I'm saying? Just
and then you can be in two different locations.
It's kind of, yeah, a skate off or something. I don't know. Let's see.
I'm not helping them because there are people that are getting paid to come up with these ideas and they're failing miserably. I'm not helping you.
And we'll split it with Mediascope. They can write us a check. I was like,
they really could. Look, the funny thing is, Kevin, my co-host from TV Channeling, every week when we record, we come up with the best ideas. We're like, well, why didn't they do this? Or they could do this episode this way. And I said, you know what? Hollywood would be turned around if they hired us as right. We keep saying, hire us. We will help you with ideas. But again, Hollywood likes to work with who they know will make them money. And it's often not novices.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not going to pay us. Thank you for the thought.
Yes, they are. We just haven't been discovered yet.
Ugh.
Okay, so I'm calling in Discovery to Mediascope right now.
We're supposed to be staying home, which probably explains all of the fabulous sales going on right now. Be careful out there. Yeah.
For real. Yeah.
So thank you all for tuning in with us live and spending your hour and a half with us on Friday. We're all sequestered, so we appreciate you coming in and commenting and giving your more than 2 cents. We really appreciate it. And Mark has one more comment here. He says it's not the material. Seth's material is still being written by him, and his writers not having an audience makes a huge difference. Mm-hmm. You have no audience off which to play as a performer. It makes an enormous difference.
Huge. Absolutely.
That's why you get somebody in the seat next to you.
Absolutely. Have conversations, change up. There's nothing wrong with changing up what you do and how you do it. If the big audience is not going to work because they can't be there, scale things down. It's just about being creative. You're not going to weather the storm well if you can't make the transition from silent movies to talkies.
Pat says she's making cornbread.
Ooh.
I ain't had cornbread and
she said she was making some for her neighbors and her 95-year-old cousin.
Yeah,
right.
That's wonderful.
She's making it in the pan type cornbread.
Mm-hmm.
Is that called skillet cornbread?
I think so.
Cold water cornbread.
Let me go. I'm looking back up here because I think she said it was skillet cornbread.
I love it. You see my note there?
I made cornbread.
Wow.
Wow. So everybody, thank you so much. We'll be back on Monday having a conversation. Don't know what it's going to be about, but we're going to have some fun.
Bring your coffee, tea, and your conversation to the meeting. Oh, and there will not be a meetup this first Monday.
There will. We're going to do it online.
No, I'm talking about in the restaurant?
No, we're gonna do this online. Everybody's coming. Not at Seasons 52.
Yes.
Be right
You
here.
will get an invitation to First Mondays.
So everybody can come. Where you live.
Stream it.
6 p.m.
That's awesome.
Right. First Monday.
Be able to attend your first Mondays.
Right.
Yes. Here. Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah. So we'll put it out, put it up on the website and stuff, and we'll be right here. And we just bring whatever food you're gonna eat, and we're just gonna have a little meetup. Have some fun, solve some problems.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So we'll see you Monday morning, and we'll see you Monday evening. Have a great day. And don't forget, guys, to go to the front of your own line. We love you. Bye-bye. Thanks again. Bye-bye.